Hello and welcome to the BFNL Football Show, proudly supported by McDonald's Ballarat and Ballarat Toyota. And as always, we've got Aaron Nunn on the show this week, mate. Had you spent a long weekend?
Yeah, the extra day, mate. But yeah, we're paying for it now, bros. You know, we've got to play catch up and try and get a bit of work done in these first 3 days of the week.
Exactly right. Now we'll get straight into last weekend's action, Nunny. Ballarat 27-13, 175. Defeated Melton South 14-15, 99. Really high scoring game there, but a really good win to Ballarat. East Point 25-17, 167. Defeated Sebastopol 6-3, 39. A really good win there for East Point. Redan 9-25, 79. Some very inaccurate kicking there from Redan. Defeated Melton 4-5, 29 in a low scoring game. Sunbury 8-16, 64. Defeated North Ballarat City 8-11, 59. Darley 13-14, 92. Defeated Lake Wendouree 8-9, 57. And that's all. So a really big weekend of action there. Some big games, Nunny. The first point I want to mention is North Ballarat City. A really disappointing loss for them on the weekend. That's a game they needed to win to finish in the top three. Are they gone? Can they? Well, you've mentioned here, can they finish into the top three? I think they should start focusing on making the finals to start off with, and then they can, work out where they're to finish after that. But yeah. I think their top three hopes are somewhat dashed at the moment.
Yeah, look, you raise a very good point there, Brades, and they certainly rolled the dice through everything that they had at Sunbury on the weekend, including the kitchen sink. I think they grabbed the kitchen sink out of the change rooms at one point. They
didn't
tried
work for them
at Sunbury and they missed. But look, they had Jared Graham, Daniel Jones, and Oliver Tate all on VFL list. They're past players of North Ballarat, so there's no issues there. But those three players who they've recalled back into their senior side, there's an air of desperation about the way that they're playing their football at the moment. And look, they certainly didn't want to lose their fourth game in a row. They've slumped to 6 on the ladder. They're lucky to be in the 6 at the moment. They're on top of Melton South because they've got a better percentage. They're really going to need to get their game going from this weekend onwards, and if they don't beat Darley this week,
massive game.
You're absolutely right. They're going to be fighting just to play finals.
Now you mentioned these couple of players that played for North City on the weekend, that obviously on North Ballarat's VFL list, in Jared Graham, Daniel Jones, and Oliver Tate. Do you think these three players would have played if North was sitting in the top, 2 or 3 on the ladder?
It's an interesting question.
You say a sign of desperation, so is it basically using everything we can use to try and get us up the ladder?
Oh, they haven't breached any rules by doing it, so they're actually North Ballarat City players. There's no issues there. But
what I'm saying, would these players have played
It's an interesting argument because, I played in a premiership side in 2008 that actually did that with one of our own players. We qualified him, played him in 3 games, and then he played the entire final series with us. It's an interesting debate, and it depends on what sort of list you've got together as well. I'd be very concerned if there's 3 kids that that they've pushed out of this side for these 3 players just to fit them in. Then they get disheartened. They might end up cracking it with the club and moving on in the next 12 months. It's a fine line that you've got to try and weigh up at the club level. And North City's taken that risk on the weekend and it hasn't paid off. They haven't got the 4 points from the win. If they had got the 4 points, then they may have been able to justify the decision. Was it a good decision? Not too sure. Time will tell and whether they're able to keep their list together.
Now, this is a side that was spoken about as a massive premiership contender before the season started, and now they're not. I don't think in anyone's eyes can they rebound. It's only.
I think they still are. They still are a genuine threat to the premiership because the competition is so even this year at the moment. Everyone's still concerned about North Ballarat City, and look. They're going to be dangerous if they make this. I think they will make the 6, and they are going to definitely be dangerous. So whoever comes up against them is going to have their hands full in that final.
If they finish 5th or 6th, the side that finishes 3rd or 4th won't want to play them, I don't think. And
I agree.
And they could still cause some damage come September.
Absolutely.
And I certainly wouldn't be writing them off yet. But I think the next 3 or 4 weeks, starting this week, is a massive game for them. And they need to get back on the winners.
Ken George just broke his arm too on the weekend, so that's a huge loss for them.
Disappointing loss, for sure.
Ken's been a good player for them.
Now, East Point, are they the real deal? They've had some really good wins, Nunny, in recent times. They've got Sunbury this week at the Eastern Oval. I think this is where their real test starts. If they can come away with a win against Sunbury or a narrow defeat, I think this will show that they are a genuine contender this year.
I think they're a dangerous side this season because they showed against Ballarat. They got out to I think a 5-goal lead early on against Ballarat when they played them early on in the season. They pushed Redan right to the end of their match, and obviously they've beaten North Ballarat City as well. This weekend will be the biggest test of the season to date, and look, if they can push Sunbury to the end, I think people are going to start to stand up and actually see East Point for for the side that they really are, and they're going to push some sides this season, and they're going to be tough to beat. There's no doubt about
And
that.
full credit to Dan Jordan and his coaching staff. They've continued to play young kids this year and obviously reaping the rewards. A lot of those kids debuted last year.
They did.
So we're seeing those kids, second year of senior footy and playing some good footy.
And we've spoken about the benefits of getting games into your kids
definitely.
too, and the progression that you see.
You've got to bide your time, haven't you, as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now Ballarat flying under the radar, Nunny, another good really win on the weekend. A really high scoring win. Look, I know from your point of view, I heard you talking about the other day that obviously to kick a massive score in 27 goals 13, but to let go 14 goals 15, to let 29 shots against Ballarat, that's a sort of maybe a concerning sign as well.
That is the concerning part about it. 29 scoring shots is a lot of shots on goal.
Yeah.
You don't want to be letting 100 points through on a weekly basis because over the test of time you are going to start losing more games than you actually win.
Yeah.
So, very big concern for Ballarat in their defence. Are they flying under the radar? Look, I think they are because you look at all the articles in the newspapers and everyone's talking about Sunbury, North, Ballarat City, Redan, these types of players. Along with East Point, I think Ballarat and East Point, no one's really rating them at the moment, and they are flying under the radar. And they're, Ballarat, they've lost one game by 3 points for the entire season. They've barely put a foot wrong, so it's an interesting debate. But obviously, time will tell us how good they really are.
The big hooch, mate, kicked 7. And
he had a good day. He probably should have kicked more than 7, but good effort by him to put 7 on the board.
Now, just touching on the Junior Interleague this weekend, the big game over at Strathfield Say against Bendigo. Now, youth girls football, interleague football for the very first time this year, Nani, a really exciting thing for the girls.
Absolutely. All 6 of the sides' final selection was made last Wednesday. They got their final training run tonight, and then we've got the jumper presentation on Friday night. So we're really excited about taking our sides over to play against Bendigo in the Goldfields Trophy. It's been a fantastic tradition for well over 25 years, and just a really good opportunity for the kids to play against the best at Bendigo. So our kids are really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great day.
Very good, and all the best to all those players that represented the league this weekend over in Bendigo. Now, just touching on the senior netball from last weekend, just read through the results. Ballarat 71 had a really good win over Melton South 35. East Point 87 had a really good win over Sebastopol 21. Redan 30 defeated Melton 28. North City 39 defeated Sunbury 30. Probably upset of the year so far, none for mine. Darley 29 defeated Lake Wendouree 24. Some concerning signs there for Lake Wendouree, Nunny, or Darley a much improved side?
I don't think there's too many concerns. I mean, they still sit on top of the ladder with a very healthy percentage. This was a huge shock for everyone, especially at the ground from what I hear too. There's a bit of controversy involved in the game overall, but we won't talk about that. But you look back at East Point's loss to Ballarat at the start of the season, and you look at the team list and you see how many stars are out. Again, if you look at Lake Wendouree's side on the weekend and how many players they had out of the side, I don't think they'd be concerned too much about that loss. And moving forward, they're going to be very hungry this weekend. I feel sorry for Melton South who have to take them on this weekend, so it's going to be a tough task for the Panthers, but I think Lake Wendouree will definitely bounce back with a big win.
I'm sure they will. Now we see Melton slip outside the top 6 in the netball. None, a bit of a surprise there.
Yeah, look, that was a heartbreaking loss for them to Redan, who are out of form at the moment. They're not playing their best netball, but look, Melton have improved out of sight this season, and it would have been great to see them beat last year's premiers and hold on to their position in the top 6, but unfortunately they just weren't able to do it.
For sure. Now moving on to this weekend's football action, it's Umpire Appreciation round. And we all know how important the umpires are on a weekly basis. There's no umpires, there's no games, and we're always trying to encourage new umpires to join the BFUA, and it's not too late to join the Umpires Association this year. Just a reminder that training is Monday and Wednesday nights at 5:30 at the City Oval, so we always encourage new and old umpires to come down and join the association. So a bit of a plug there, but Umpire Appreciation round, very important to I suppose for everyone to appreciate the job they do. Yeah. And this weekend the senior coaches, obviously all coaches are encouraged to shake hands with the umpires before the game. Yeah,
absolutely. And this round is about raising awareness and just making people aware of their actions towards umpires of a weekend. You go to a country game of football every single weekend, and you'll notice some idiot on the sidelines yelling and screaming at the umpires, just useless abuse that is not going to get them or their side anywhere. So all we're doing is just asking people to think about what's coming out of their mouth of a weekend, and just consider how the umpire might feel out there as well. They're doing their best job, and they're getting out there and they're getting in there and having a go. So you can't knock them for that.
And I think between about 30 to 40% of umpires that join umpiring ranks actually leave because of the abuse. That's just under half. So
it's not a good start.
It's not at all. Now this weekend, Nunny, obviously a big weekend of footy action, but we should not forget the big selection in the VCFL Interleague or VCL squad. 3 Ballarat players who represented the Ballarat Interleague side against Geelong about 3 weeks ago. Ryan Waite, Malcolm Niblett and Lee Burke. So 3 players. It's really a great thing for the league to have those 3 players representing our league and also representing the VCFL as well.
Yeah, those boys had a fantastic game against Geelong a couple of weeks ago and they've been rewarded for their efforts. So congratulations to those 3 players for their selection in the squad. We've also got 4 under-19 players as well. Braden Deary and Mitch Rod from the Ballarat Football Club, who have been standout young players in their senior side this season. Hayden Walters, who's come back to East Point this season, he's been fantastic for the Kangaroos as well. And Greg Hay, who's just a ready-made senior footballer and he's having an impact at senior level as well for the Sunbury Footy Club.
I reckon it's great for a player like Malcolm Niblett, who hasn't played in a lot of success in his time at Sebastopol, but he's been a player that's always stuck by the club and I suppose a leader within that club. It's great to see him get his chance at interleague level this year, and for him to be represented in the VCFL side is a credit to him, and also a credit to Sebastian as well. So.
Yeah, and look, this is a small reward for all the hard work that Malcolm has been able to put in with his club, Sebastopol.
For sure. Now, Nutty McDonald's marking goal of the year. There's been some good nominations so far, but we're looking for a big hanger or a great goal to be kicked.
Lee Burke from the Mountain South Footy Club took 2 on the weekend. They were sensational, and I nominated both of those. So, he's having a standout year at the moment. So, if
you've got any nominations, email Nutty at aaron@ballaratfl.com.au. So, hopefully we can see some nominations come in over the coming weeks. Now, Nutty, the Ballarat Football Netball League live scores application.
Yeah, don't forget about that. Click on the big iPhone on the BFL website and save that homepage to your screen on your smartphone.
Very good, mate. Now we'll move on to this weekend's Ballarat Football League games. The first game we'll look at, Darley North City.
Huge game.
This game's at Darley, and as we said before, a massive game. I reckon more so for North City. They need to get back on the winners list and really show that they're a genuine, not only premiership contender, but finals contender this year.
Absolutely. Obviously, they're going to lose those 3 Roosters listed players because they'll probably go back up and play with North Ballarat. So there'll be 3 new players come into the side. This is a danger game for North Ballarat City, no matter which way you look at it. They dropped this one. Probably the best they could hope for would be finishing 6th. So, that's a big call. But look, they're going to have to start making some inroads. They need to get on the winners list. I think they will. I think they'll be good enough to beat Darley.
East Point plays Sunbury at the Eastern Oval. This is another big game. I reckon a big game for East Point. If they can show that they can match it with the best side in the competition, it gives them a chance come September. And really, if they win this game, I reckon they're certain to finish inside the top 6 now and give themselves a chance to finish top 3.
Absolutely. Sunbury have been super this season. They're not a very tall side this year, and they don't have too many big guys to rely on to take a big grab in the forward line or make the big spoil back in defence. But they're just doing what they have to do, and they're chalking up the wins as they've done over the last couple of years. So they're playing some really good footy, and this is going to be a tough game, but I think Sunbury will be too good.
For sure. Lake Wendouree and Melton South, the Wendouree Reserve, and it's great to see the Wendouree Reserve in great condition. This time of year it's normally a mud heap, and it's not at the moment. Hopefully the rain can stay away and it can remain in really good condition. So
rain forecast on the weekend, unfortunately, so hopefully it doesn't chop up too much. This is a tough one. Lake Wendouree, a week ago I probably would have said they probably would have won this one, but no, look, having watched Melton South last weekend, I think they're going to be too good for the Lakers.
Redan played Bacchus Marsh at the City Oval, a big test here for Bacchus Marsh. They need to come up and be competitive against the Redan side that's undefeated so far this year and haven't put too many steps wrong.
Yeah, look, the Marsh, they're only 1 game out of the 6 at the moment, but look, if they want to play finals this season, they're going to have to cause an upset or 2.
Yeah.
This weekend is a perfect opportunity for them. Obviously, Redan are flying along at the moment. Again, they're another side that hasn't put a foot wrong. Big Sticks, Nick Bye, played in the reserves for his first game back on the weekends. He's back from an ankle injury, and watch out for him in the senior side over the coming weeks. He may not play seniors this week, but it might be over the next few weeks.
Got a bit of a knack, Redan, haven't they? Just to bring back these players. Not a lot of these guys don't play in the early parts of the season, but we saw him come back last year and played pretty well
in their
premiership side. So, Sebastopol played Melton at Marty Bush on Saturday, and look, both teams would see themselves as a massive chance to get 4 points here. I reckon Sebastian home are every chance of winning this one.
Yeah, look, 2 sides in desperate need of a victory. Look, Melton's season has been up and down. They started with that great win over Darley, and they had the lead against Bacchus Marsh in round 2 as well, and it's all sort of been downhill since 3/4 time of that game. And had they won that one, they may have had their backs up, and you probably would have seen them with a couple more wins under their belt, but wasn't to be, and they're heading up to play against Sebastopol, who are struggling as well. I think Melton will get up in this one.
Yep. Very good, Nunny. A big weekend of BFNL action coming up, as always, and What's your plans this weekend, mate? I see you've been going okay lately. You slowly forcing your way back into the ones, or
Got the bye this weekend, mate, so I'll have a bit of a rest and
freshen up for the week after.
Yeah, head off to Bendigo with the junior league sides and
Very good.
Work away as I have been for the last six months.
Fantastic, and thanks very much for joining us on the BFL Footy Show once again this week. As always, proudly supported by McDonald's Ballarat and Ballarat Toyota. I'm not too sure what you're up to this weekend, but whatever it is, make sure you enjoy yourself, get on to footy, and hopefully watch a great game wherever you're at. For now, it's goodbye. Look forward for you to join next week. All the very best, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye now.